So when it comes to mental health, there is a subset of mental health that is targeted towards the ketogenic diet. It is a method of last resort for people with untreatable mental health conditions and neurological conditions, just the entire kind of field of CNS problems, and that is central nervous system problems. And so it's something that's really interesting. It's a huge market. It's about $10 billion globally. And then majority of 30 to 40% of keto diet implementers are due to health condition prevention and management. If you look at the field of psychobiotics, which is probiotics and prebiotics for mental health conditions, it is growing. And a lot of it is due to the research evidence or clinical evidence found with the implementation of ketogenic diets for mental health and serious mental health conditions. Here's an article that kind of goes through the timeline of or history of all these things. If anyone is interested in this field of probiotics for mental health conditions, just let me know, DM me, or reply here or comment. I am actively working to invest in a Series B for a company that's doing really well in this space, and specifically targeting epilepsy.
Jess, I have not fermented garlic and honey, although I know you can do that. Whenever I see a post or a fermenter or somebody saying, if you're concerned about botulism, you might want to use a pH strip, I'm out. I really don't think I would like the taste of honey flavored garlic unless I were making a lot of barbecue sauce, and I don't really use a lot of barbecue sauce because I don't really eat meat. So yeah, I'm going to pass on this, although I'm sure it's very good. I think you can just eat the garlic. I'm thinking about that more, Jess. I've often made infused oils and olive oil with maybe rosemary, garlic, and whatever I can toss into the oil. And I've never, ever kept them on the counter, always kept them in the refrigerator because of concerns about botulism. So I think this is a game of Russian roulette I would not play personally. I'm sure it's fine. I could dig into it more, but I don't like the taste. So I don't think I'll make that. Akash, that's really interesting. I ate keto for about a year and a half. I was supposed to have tried it for 30 days. That was my commitment. But the person who asked me to try, his wife was cured from a serious condition, a mental health condition, with a strict keto carnivore diet. And so even though I wasn't a carnivore, the science looked the same, and I gave it a try. I was actually trying keto to target migraines. That's epilepsy's neurological cousin, related to Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, you name it. There's a lot of things in that family. So it made sense to me to give keto a try. Didn't work, but it was really, really interesting to me to see the change in my body and to just understand my relationship with each food that I was eating.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome that your friend's wife was able to be cured of a serious mental health condition. I was watching the Huberman podcast with Chris Palmer, and they were talking about this particular topic, especially through Chris Palmer's book, Brain Energy, which I read a little of, but not the entire thing. And the ketogenic diet apparently works well if you stay with it, but then once people go off of it, it seems to the symptoms seem to come back. So I don't know. Like there must be something there that allows for what do you call some kind of process there when it comes to the brain and body. I thought about going into this too for myself, and apparently it works for some folks, not everybody. And they really target folks that are treatment resistant for their condition. Because most just go on meds, just like myself. I wish there was a way to reverse engineer that process or really understand the root of that process that's causing people to be cured of serious mental health conditions and health conditions in general, and try to understand what's going on there through the gut-brain axis.
I am laughing at the responses to the questions on fermentation. I have played with fermentation before, especially fermentation of vegetables. Not really good with fermenting drinks besides kombucha. But these are two books that I can suggest. And Wild Fermentation is more the recipes. The Art of Fermentation goes into more of the science so that you can do this safely. What else did I want to say about this? Yeah, fermenting things is amazing. They taste great. I love it. It is a bit of time consuming because you want to keep check on things, and then you would be best served with like a fermentation crock. If you're already doing canning with the sterilization and all that stuff, you're going to be good with this. You're going to love fermentation. It is like the next step with canning. And, yeah, it's so good. So good once you get into different things. Oh, how I initially got into fermentation was I was part of a CSA called Abundant Harvest Organics, and that had an abundance of vegetables. So I was like, I need to do something with these veggies, and fermentation was naturally the next best step. Also, to propagate your tomato seeds, ferment the fresh tomatoes before you plant those seeds, and it makes them more bioavailable for growth. Okay, so the main ways of preserving food is by using sugar, salt, or fat, oil. So when it comes to the garlic and the honey, it seems fairly somewhat safe. I can't say 100% safe, but somewhat safe because you're not chopping the garlic. You are just bruising it and then sticking the whole clove within honey, pure honey. So it would be more of a concern if you're like adding water or anything else to it, but you're not in this instance. So should be generally safe. There's always going to be a level of risk